Welcome to MojoPlays. Today, we're looking at another installment of Game Changers, the series where we discuss the video games that changed everything. Today, we'll be taking a look at Grand Theft Auto 3. Before we begin, we publish new content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. The first fully 3D game in the franchise, GTA 3 wrote the book on what it means to be an open-world game. But how did it do this? The first two GTA games were revolutionary in their own way, particularly the first one. A glitch in the code for a cops and robbers prototype game originally called Race and Chase made the cops relentlessly pursue the player, a formula so fun it created Grand Theft Auto, one of gaming's most enduring franchises. And the cops aren't the only thing in that game that have become series hallmarks. It introduced all the core locations, Liberty City, Vice City, and San Andreas, while its expansions, set in 1960s London, explored Rockstar's ability to write period pieces. But pioneering as the first two games were, they don't have anything on GTA 3. This was a game so revolutionary that its effects are still widely felt throughout the entire industry, pioneering the brand new genre of video games.
It's a taxi home after work, so follow him. And if he's ratting us out, kill him.
What the first true open-world game was is up for debate, but when we think about modern game design, we have GTA 3 to thank. Large sandbox environments, detailed maps, destructible assets, a wide variety of missions, and a cinematic story are all traits that still exist across contemporary open-world games and have their origins in GTA 3, which did all of those things at once in a way no other game had before. You could go out into a fully rendered 3D environment to blow up cars and wipe out whole streets of pedestrians. It was destruction on an unprecedented scale, and something often taken for granted in modern games.
You got his number?
It was also incredibly cinematic. The first games did have stories, but the 3D era brought the ability to shoot a video game cutscene like you were shooting a movie. Nowadays, Rockstar is famous for how movie-like its games are, drawing from genres and styles throughout cinema. But this was a new thing in 2001, and GTA 3 was one of the earliest movie-like games that had powerful drama, a cohesive story, and serious character beats amongst all the wacky, destructive gameplay. Like other GTA games, Claude finds himself working for a variety of criminals and shady characters, exploring the underbelly of Liberty City in gloriously grimy 3D. The story and the graphics, which were some of the best around at the time, as well as the gameplay itself, coalesced to make GTA 3 the critically lauded title we remember it as.
Once he's fitted it with a bomb, go park the car where you found it. Then sit back and watch the whole show.
It was widely acclaimed by anybody who had an opinion about video games as one of the most innovative, breathtaking, and fun games to ever hit the PS2. And when the PS2 remains the best-selling video game console ever, that's high praise. And though GTA 3 wasn't as mature as the movies it was paying homage to, it was still a watershed moment in gaming. Video games were here to tell important stories about the modern world, and they were here to stay.
Most of their business goes down at the fish market in Chinatown. The laundry still owes us protection.
GTA 3's legacy is profoundly felt in many AAA games today. Rockstar's open worlds are some of the best in the business beyond Grand Theft Auto. We definitely wouldn't have the outstanding world of Red Dead Redemption 2 without Liberty City first. But its influences are more niche than that. There's an entire subgenre of destructive open-world games about criminals and car chases, often amazing games in their own right. The likes of Saints Row, Mafia, and Sleeping Dogs stand out as titans in the genre, and GTA 3 had to walk so that all of those games could run, whether they were made by Rockstar or not. And most of these games probably aren't made by Rockstar because Rockstar today doesn't release games anywhere near as frequently as it did in the 2000s. Instead, another giant video game company has taken on the mantle of churning out open-world releases, Ubisoft.
They do all their nasty work through this, and they don't know I have access.
This is where GTA 3's legacy takes a turn, because most people are getting sick of Ubisoft's sprawling, bloated open-world games, many of which borrow directly from GTA but aren't half as good, like Watch Dogs. Though Ubisoft's desire to keep making open-world games can be tracked back to the success of Far Cry 3 in 2012, the formula still wouldn't exist without Grand Theft Auto 3. When a huge number of games now take the idea of an open world for granted and assume it's something they need to have regardless of if it's done well, you might begin to wonder whether GTA 3 changed things for better or worse.
What happened to I do my own stunts?
Hey, do these look like scripts to you?
And its influence is felt outside of video games too, particularly in the endless cultural debate over whether video games cause violent behavior. Many people, both within and outside the industry, thought the game was crude, offensive, over the top, and any number of other complaints because of its gruesome and occasionally lewd content. But frustrating as the violent video games debate is for gamers, the controversies that have plagued Grand Theft Auto from the beginning, including 3, have led to research proving time and time again that the link does not exist. Video games don't cause violent behavior, and in fact, it's even suggested that video games like GTA encourage people to stay indoors and play games instead of going out and committing crimes. But if people hadn't accused GTA 3 of causing real-world harm, it never would have been proven that it doesn't. Grand Theft Auto 3 may have caused offense when it came out and spawned an abundance of inferior copycats, but it remains a technical achievement like no other. Admittedly, it doesn't hold up as well as Vice City and San Andreas, but it laid the groundwork for those games and hundreds more to become so popular and successful. That's why GTA 3 changed everything.
With loyalty like yours, what has he possibly got to worry about?
Check out these other great clips from MojoPlays, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.